horrific disaster. Terrible. I mean, it was bad, but it gave us a real wake-up call of what we need to do to protect our water.
So are you saying that FOIA laws are bad and transparency is bad?
No. What I said is we're going to have to be smart. There's a list of people that will need to know what is in this, and they have to have certain procedures that they'll have to follow. And it's a domino thing. You know, there are certain people that have to be called within X amount of minutes. And you have to know, and you've got to have a plan on what you would do with this particular chemical. You've got to have all the homework done.
If I can speak on that one, because actually I do wastewater for Special Metal in Huntington. That's my job, is wastewater. And as the gentleman was saying there, any kind of containment that's holding anything that is actually hazardous or non-hazardous, but it has a chemical base to it, you're supposed to have a dike that will contain if that tank was full and it actually leaked. And the thing is that she's right. I mean, my company is 1,100 people. Not all 1,100 people in my company know what I know about the wastewater and the actual water coming into my plant. But we do have a call list for an emergency. And actually that call list would hit me, my manager, and then the city. Okay? So it is an actual setup if the people would do it. And I mean, inspection, you're exactly right. Going 30 years without being inspected is crazy. But they need to take responsibility themselves. I inspect my tanks a lot myself. I have people doing work on my tanks a lot themselves. So it's not a real simple task, because if I started telling you chemicals that I use at my plant, you wouldn't know what it is. Because I mean, there's chemical, there's polymers, there's actual solutions, there's actual alkaline. So there's a lot of.
But do you believe the public should have the right to look that up and learn that if they wanted to?
The internet makes that very acceptable. You can type in a name. If you read the article and heard the chemical name, type it into Google, and you will find out all the specs on that chemical. That's the beauty of the internet. If the public really want to know, you don't have to come to my company, hunt me down, and ask me.
But if the information is not available by FOIA, and the people don't know what to look up on Google, how are they going to know what chemicals in there unless somebody steps out and does a FOIA?
Why don't the feds pull the plug out? They've got some 40,000 chemicals that they don't have an MSDS complete on. I have to have an MSDS for my welding rod on the job.
And I have to have an MSD on everything I use in my plant. Exactly.
But there's a lot of chemicals. Like I said, 40,000 some that you don't have an MSDS on.
And it is, but please understand that even from my standpoint, the United States is doing very well on chemicals, because even there's chemicals that has been banned in this country because of the hazard level that they can cause the people. So they don't overlook that they're trying to just not look at your welfare. They are. You know, it's just understand what you're trying to find out, if having it where it can be told to you. Okay.
And are you aware that the DEP, when I did a FOIA to find out about citations, A, tried to charge me research that was illegal, B, tried to charge me for the CD that is illegal, and until I pointed out that, either you give it to me free or I'm going to go ahead and have you thrown in jail, then I got the documents the way I was supposed to. We need to have the FOIA laws strengthened so that crap like that doesn't happen, and when you request something, you get the answer. I was involved in a case where I was arrested going to the health department to look at financial documents in Putnam County where they were more than $400,000 in debt, cost me thousands of dollars legal fees. I was acquitted. Judge Stowers set case law. Now that the government, they used to say, well, in 5 days, we'll respond saying, we'll set an appointment later on. Stowers says, no, 5 days means documents within 5 days. So because of my arrest, everybody in West Virginia can now get those documents within 5 days. However, the prosecutor didn't go after the health department for violating the FOIA law. How do you feel about making prosecution mandatory for government agencies that violate the FOIA laws?
I have no answer for you.
Just look at your case was one of the exceptions, because I understand what you want to happen, but then you cause a lot of us headaches because of the ones who may want to go too far with that information. So my day could go not doing productive for my plant, because I'm constantly having to answer someone question all the time that has really nothing to do with my plant.
But your plant is a private business, right?
It's a private business.
So you're not subject to FOIA. FOIA is for government agencies.
But still, again, if you got to understand on the government side, they're not a private, but they also got to continue to do their processing. And you can mess around and hold people up trying to discuss this stuff all the time instead of being productive for the
Carry this
deal.
over till after the meeting?
I think it would be.
There's a lot of people getting frustrated.
This is a town hall meeting.
Well, you brought up FOIA, so I'm asking about it since you brought up
I
FOIA.
don't
I
want
never
to,
mentioned,
I don't want to stop this, but we have, they close at 8.
okay.
So let's kind of wrap it up. We don't need it.
I'd be glad to have a conversation with you, but, you know,
question?
you just
One question
immediately
about what
started
Butch
with
was talking
the
about,
camera in the
education.
face. I'll be
I'm
glad
not in
to
your
talk to
face.
you.
I'm sitting down
What
in
question did you have?
With the high school situation, you know, education, you know, to me is when you get one-on-one a whole lot closer.
I don't want to get in your face, so
We
delegate.
need to move out so they won't get angry
Pardon me?
with.
Michael Moffat, how do you feel about family court reform? Right now, temporary orders cannot be appealed. The Judicial Investigation Commission will not reveal complaints about judges. No public hearings on probable cause.
I don't know enough about the issue right now.
Okay? I will get you some information for you to look at. You've been given a proposal for a 25-point plus family court and court reform bill
I don't
to
know
clean it
anything
up.
about that. I'm sorry.
It's been sent to you
No, by whom?
by me.
I'm sorry. you have-
Why hasn't it been introduced?
I beg your pardon, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was emailed to every legislator in the
When?
state of West Virginia.
I have 900 emails.
A couple of
coming
months
across my
ago.
desk. I'm sorry, I'm not on the judiciary committee, so I'm not.
Okay, but why haven't you not introduced it? Delegate Sabania, I gave you a proposed list of 25 issues for court reform, including family law, for a bill. Why has that bill not been introduced? Delegate?
Do you want it to be introduced?
I want it to be introduced,
Okay,
absolutely.
then work with me.
I've tried. You haven't returned my calls.
I was sick on an antibiotic.
And before that and after that. I'll work with you.
These are.
No,